So this is Tammy, and this is our first time at the Farm Expo. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how long you've been coming to the expo?
So my name is Tammy Amnott. I'm an associate broker at Farms and Barns Real Estate. I've been with Farms and Barns for 14. This is my 14th year, and this will be my 14th year coming to the farm forest. I believe we come every year. It's a great way to see people and meet people that actually like our properties, so it's a good fit for us.
Okay. And how long have you been a realtor?
This will be almost 15 years.
Oh, wow, okay.
I've been with Farms and Barns. This is my 14th.
Nice. And Tammy just so happens to be the realtor that sold us our property.
It is.
A beautiful piece of property in Gilmanton Ironworks. And we appreciate all her help. If you're ever looking for a realtor that definitely cares about her clients and bends over backwards for you to do anything she can, Tammy's the person to check out.
Thanks, Jay. I hope you enjoy the farm forest. There's great people here, lots of great resources, everything from grain and pasture management and farming equipment to beekeeping, alpacas. And I just saw a goat line up that way.
Any bit of advice that you could give someone that's looking for a farm property?
Make sure you do due diligence. Make sure you can do what you really want to do on your farm. Don't just take the word from somebody that says, oh yeah, you can have horses here or you can have pigs here. Make sure you go to the town and ask and be very upfront with them about what exactly you want to do on your farm.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Good seeing you, Tammy.
It's great to see you guys.
So we're with Kevin from the New Hampshire Beekeepers Association. Kevin, can you tell us a little bit about how long you've been coming to the expo and a little bit about what you do?
Well, we're at the Farm and Forest Expo. Myself and my wife are the co-chairs of the New Hampshire Beekeepers Association. We have been operating this for the last 5 years. As far as coming to the expo, we've probably done it for the last 10 years. We're part of the expo. We're part of what goes on around here. The farm, forest, everything ties together, and the bees are the pollinators.
Okay. And people that are looking to get into beekeeping, any tips or advice that you could possibly give them?
The best advice I can give any future beekeeper is to turn around and look at a local club. We have clubs up on the wall here, various groups. There's 10 clubs. Go to the club, give you like-minded people to help you out. It is a different field, taking care of insects and trying to figure out what they do and what they want. By going to these clubs, you'll find people that will be able to tell you about nectar flows and dearths and diseases in the area or what they've run into, bears that are out, dandelions that are ready. So it's great to join clubs. That's a good place to start.
One last thing, maybe something that mistakes you've made in the past that you could help somebody avoid making in the future.
Mistakes I've made in the past. I don't know if you call them mistakes, but every mistake led me to where I am right now. So, learning experiences, take what other people say to heart. As far as, if they give you ideas, don't think that you know more than them initially. Try their ideas and then expand upon them. But I've made mistakes. I'll say right now, first 5 years, we couldn't keep a hive alive in the winter to save our life. We now maintain hives on a regular basis over the winter. So, a learning curve.
Well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. You have a nice day. Enjoy the farm and forest.
Hampshire. We're the Northeast Organic Farming Association of New Hampshire, one of 7 chapters of the Northeast Organic Farming Association across the Northeast states. We work in promoting organic farming, gardening, and land care practices for healthy communities. We have many educational programs, including an annual winter conference. We host documentary film screenings, panel discussions, workshop series on organic gardening. We also work in organic land care, hosting and co-hosting workshops about that as well. We also have a program called the Craft of Farming, which stands for Collaborative Regional Alliances for Farmer Training, and that connects farmers, farm workers, gardeners, people who eat food together on farm to learn about organic gardening practices, ask questions, make connections, etc. Do you have any questions?
How long have you been doing the expo?
This is my first year doing the expo. I think we've been doing it for many years. I've been with NOFA for about 2 years.
Okay. Any bit of advice for anyone starting out?
Yeah, if you're starting out, you can always reach out to NOFA New Hampshire. You can become a member. You can attend any of our educational activities. We do have many great resources online that are also free. And coming to events like this are also really great to make connections. And you can become a NOFA member.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Today I'm interviewing David with the CDL, USA Maple Sugaring Equipment. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do, how long you've been coming to the expo?
Dave Kemp, Jaffrey, New Hampshire. I'm a dealer for CDL, D&D Maple Supplies. And we've been coming to the show since about 1996. It's always been a good venue for us. We meet lots of nice people. Everybody's interested in farming, and particularly for us, maple sugaring. I work a full-time job for the town of Jaffrey as a mechanic, and so this is my 6-week-a-year hobby. I enjoy doing maple syrup. We have a 1,300 tap operation in Jaffrey, but I found it a long ride to get the equipment I wanted and needed, and we started handling equipment as a sideline. And I'm looking at retiring this April and spending more time selling maple equipment, because everybody that does maple is nice people, and just like any other farming in New Hampshire, you don't find any grouchy, grumpy people doing maple, and it's nice to work with people that want to learn and enjoy the same things that you enjoy.
If you could give any advice to somebody that's just starting out, could you give any maybe some mistakes or things that you've learned along the way?
Well, the first thing I would suggest is mentor yourself to another maple producer. Find one in your area. They will love to have you come and help them, and they will love to impart what they know, and they're glad to tell you all the mistakes so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Get the education before you take the test. And find your local area maple producer and be glad to have you help. Work with them before you jump out on your own.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your time and hope to see you again soon.
Great. Thanks for stopping and talking with us.
So I'm with Dan for Poulin Grain. I just want to ask you a couple of questions. How long have you been coming to the expo?
So I've been coming to this expo for the last 18 years. Started out on the far booth back there, and then slowly throughout the years have kind of moved to different spots throughout the venue. When I first started, it was 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Now it's down to 2 days, but get to meet a lot of customers and thank people for our business and get our products out to people that might have heard of us but haven't had a chance to talk with us.
Okay. And how long have you been working with Poulin Grain?
I've been with Poulin Grain for 29 years now.
Wow. What makes Poulin Grain better than the rest?
So Poulin Grain is a Northeast feed company. All of our feeds are manufactured for the Northeast. A lot of the other companies that make products are sold all over the country. So, for instance, our selenium levels and our vitamin E levels are manufactured for the conditions for our markets. We also add 100% organic selenium and 100% natural vitamin E in all of our horse feeds. And when we balance diets for animals, we actually go to the farms, pull hay samples, and get the information needed so we can put correct diets together for those animals.
Well, thank you very much. So today I'm with Deb with the New Hampshire Sheep and Wool Growers Association. Just wanted to see, how long have you been coming to the expo?
Ever since they started the
It's all
expo.
new to me, but it's very interesting.
So,
I don't
a long time.
How long have you been involved with raising sheep?
Well, I grew up raising dairy cattle, but I started sheep in the year 1999.
Maybe people that are interested in getting started, some kind of pointing them in the right direction?
Fertilizer's a good
I absolutely would tell them to check in their local area to see who has sheep. Go talk to them. Every sheep person I know is more than willing to talk about why they raise sheep and what they do with them, and help that person decide what they want to do with their own sheep, whether they want to raise them for wool or meat or just for pet lawnmowers or whatever. So
Okay.
talking to other sheep breeders is probably your first best shot at finding out information.
Anything you've learned along the way that you'd maybe like to pass on to someone to help them make avoid those mistakes or learning experiences?
When you're trying to decide what type of sheep you're going to have, make sure you go around to some farms that are already established so that you can see how they handle their sheep. It helps you decide. You go to one farm, you go, that looks kind of strange how they're, it seems crazy. So you decide that I don't want to do it that way, and then you go see somebody else who, wow, that's a really great idea. And definitely with, sheep breeders that have been in it for a while, because lots of people think they want to do it, but then they find out it's real work.
Right.
Those sheep are pretty doggone easy to keep. They're not nearly as labor intensive as having dairy cows or beef cows. And they make great pets, but they make great show animals. They make great meat or wool. And, doesn't take a ton of work on an individual's time to get a product you can be happy with.
Anything that we should check out here at the expo?
Absolutely. There is just about every kind of farm organization, agricultural organization here that we're here for a reason, and that's to help educate the public. I saw the boys, they had the Farmo things in their hands, New Hampshire Ag in the Classroom does that, so that the kids go around to the different booths and learn something about that specific booth and what that group of people do. New Hampshire Farm Bureau is here. They're the advocates for all agriculture, whether you're a farmer already or just getting started. Cooperative Extension is here, UNH is here. Forestry Department is here. You can learn a lot just by being here. And that's why we're here, is to help people learn. All right.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. It's awesome meeting you.
No problem. Enjoy your time here.
Thank you.
We are lifetime members of the New Hampshire Beekeepers. We're people over here on my right. And we utilize the members for their honey and beeswax. And then part of the proceeds, whether it's retail or wholesale from selling our line, goes back to the association towards the Honeybee Research Fund. We're the #1 financial supporter of honeybee research in the state of New Hampshire. So we're here with the beekeepers. My friend Mary Ellen is here with her honey from her apiary. And she is the VP of New Hampshire Beekeepers. So you're on the gamut. You get to learn how to keep bees, what to do with them, what they produce, and then this.
Right.
This is all natural skincare made with honey and or beeswax.
How long have you guys been coming to the expo?
I think this is my 6th year.
Okay.
Yeah. Susan started this line 8 years ago, and she's a chemist. And she was having a lot of chemical reactions to what she had been working with, and she needed something for her own need. So she started formulating that cream that you saw down at the end was the first product that she came up with. And her husband had a garden center. So he said, why don't you give me some of that and I'll try selling it out in the shop. And it started taking off. Well, long story short, that was 8 years ago and it's blossomed. I joined her 6 years ago. So it's woman-owned, woman-operated. Everything is done right in our little 4-car garage that's been converted over to a formulary in Henniker.
What would be your favorite product?
Oh, that's a tough one. Because I love them all, so and I use them all. So to say I have one in particular, I can't.
Okay.
I can't. You know, I love my serum. It's vitamins A, B, C, D, and E for your skin. The cream that Susan first came out with, the V-Silk, is my go-to morning and night for a moisturizer. Lotion candles, the CBD products. I tend to have back spasms from doing this show, and this is proprietary. It's 400 milligrams of hemp-derived CBD from Canada, where it is regulated. Plus 20% of that is also arnica. You light it like a warm oil pool. Use a warm liquid on the area that hurts. The warmth of the oil opens the pores and allows that CBD and arnica to go in and be very effective very quickly. We try to work and think like a honeybee, so like these decanters that you see with that lotion candle as well as our regular non-medicinal one are made by local potters in New Hampshire. Try to help them with their small business along with ours.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Dube. I work for the Department of Agriculture for the Division of Plant Industry. Nice. This is our display this year. I've been coming for 5 years. We basically manage anybody that's selling plants in the state of New Hampshire. They need to have a license with us. We also survey for a number of invasive insects, plants, and insects that we don't necessarily have here yet, but that are a possible threat if they do show up to our agricultural commodities.
I can hear this voice right there. I know that.
Today we're teaching people about spotted lanternfly, Asian longhorn beetle, and hemlock woolly adelgid, as well as emerald ash borer. And then we also have our invasive plant collection today. So these are some of the plants that we don't like having in the state of New Hampshire. They are listed as invasive and prohibited in our state. It's not allowed to move, propagate, sell, distribute. You're not allowed to do anything with those plants. We have a bunch of information on those plants and insects.
And how long have you been involved with the
So I've been working for the department for 5 years now. This is my 5th time here at the Farm, Forest, and Garden Expo. We also go to other trade shows. We do the Camping Expo. We do Discover Wild New Hampshire Day. And we usually like to show off a lot of our insects, mostly the good ones. But today we're doing all the bad ones. We don't mind. This is a really bad one we don't have in New Hampshire yet. This is spotted lanternfly. Here's another good image of it. This is in Pennsylvania, parts of Maryland, New Jersey, Delaware, and it feeds on hops, as well as grapes, and lots of hardwoods. It's slowly working its way and spreading outside of where it was first found. We're teaching people what it looks like, so if they see it, they can let us know. We also do a lot with firewood. We try to teach people about the risks associated with moving firewood in New Hampshire, into it or outside of it. We have pests here in New Hampshire that other parts of the country do not want, and then other parts of the country has pests that we don't want to. So we give away a lot of stuff.
What's the one thing that you love about your job?
I love working with insects. They don't complain quite as much as children or adults. And then I do like to do the outreach. We have costumes that we wear sometimes. We have stickers and tattoos that we give away to the kids. It's a lot of fun teaching them about things that they should be aware of in their environment.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate you sharing with us.
You're welcome. Anytime.
What we're doing today is we're cutting a simple mailbox post, and this is to demonstrate the mortise and tenon joint and the diagonal brace. And this three things are the building blocks for all timber frame buildings. It's in every building. There's that corner joint. So once you learn those three basic things, you can build any frame. So that's what we're demonstrating. This design here that we're working on to make some timber frame sawhorses. We're going to make 2 of those, and then we're going to put that big plank over there that we're using for a bench on the horses to be like a display or a bench or something. He's done the 2 legs, and this is the top. These are upside down right now, and right now Mike's working on one of the 2 pieces to make the foot. The timber frame is all held together with mortise and tenon joints with pegs. Okay. No nails, no metal.
How did you guys get involved in doing it this way?
I wanted to learn about timber framing, so I joined the Guild. The Guild is an organization that teaches timber framing to everybody and anybody that wants to learn. Mike's using an 1.5-inch chisel. He's chopping a mortise. We start with boring a round hole with an antique drill called a boring machine, and then we chop it out, make it square or rectangular. It's more labor intensive to cut a timber frame building for a house or a barn. It's usually assembled in 1 or 2 days with a barn raising type of event, but it'll last centuries.
Okay.
This was a log Wednesday morning, and if you cut the wood with mortise and tenons when it's green, it's a lot easier because there's moisture in there. The wood is softer. It's easier to cut. A piece of wood that's dried is harder. When you put the frame together and it dries in place, the joints hold the timbers from twisting or bowing or warping. But what happens is we'll drive the peg in, and the moisture from the green pine will soak into the peg and expand the peg.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you your sharing.
Here's my card over there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Jim. So.